a lot to talk about, so let's get started. First, y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on. What's going on, y'all? It's time for another Kingeries TV video. I missed you all. We had a cute night on Wasted Wednesday last night. We talked about a lot of stuff. And we was in the kitchen cooking with your mama, okay? Y'all already know that we are arriving at Thanksgiving Struggle Place. She is coming very soon, and I am implementing some new things for us to do so we can all be a part of 2017's Thanksgiving Struggle Place, okay? Y'all know every year it's a favorite time, child. Y'all already getting started. So this year I would like to upload the pictures on kingeries.com so we can all see the mess that has transpired, honey. So I will be letting you all know how we can participate on there, because everybody is welcome to submitting a anonymous plate from their family members or whatever on kingeries.com. We're gonna make that happen, okay? We always been making it happen. A couple of things have transpired since I've done my last Kingeries TV video. Y'all already know, honey, that I title these videos Whelp or Whelp 2 or any other thing. Y'all already know, judging by the picture, the thumbnail, that what I'm about to talk about it. So talking last night on Wasted Wednesday, a couple people said, Justin, we appreciate the longer videos, 20 minutes. I want you all to let me know what you all like in the comment section, because I'm only doing stuff to cater to you all. I want to cater to you. I love doing that for you all. I love y'all so much. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. I ain't gonna do Wendy no more. Let's get the bull crap out the way. Let's talk about Tyrese. Tyrese has been on an Instagram rant for a decade. Now, y'all know, y'all already been paying attention to the situation with Tyrese. Tyrese has been on social media crying out for his daughter. He's been wanting attention and getting attention, and I'm just confused. Him and Bow Wow, they are two different things on the same spectrum. But I'm trying to see where they're going. Where's the pot of gold? What is the ultimate goal that you all are trying to achieve? Because, girl, y'all not even getting a pot of gold, okay? So Tyrese, especially Tyrese, talking about he gonna get $5 million from Will Smith and Jada. Jada said we ain't gave him nothing. So y'all know Tyrese's situation. He's been crying out for his daughter. He's been doing all types of crazy stuff to get her attention. Going through whatever trial he has to with custody battle. You know, they draining his coins, girl. They draining his coins. They want all his coins. And they just want him to pay child support. Now, Tyrese, I think he's crying out for support. I think he needs some type of therapy, or he might try to get some, or he might be trying to get some attention. He's been combating with The Rock and getting into it with him, because The Rock ain't include him in another project he's working on that has something to do with Fast and Furious, if I'm not mistaken. And The Rock is just working on his own stuff. He's getting his own coins. He has a movie role every other week. And Tyrese was a talented actor. Tyrese was a talented singer. At one point, he was doing good music and stuff, but y'all know R&B is just non-existent right now. We can just say that. I mean, girl, the only time y'all listen to R&B is when y'all listen to a white woman or a white man sing it. But that's another subject for another day. Probably talk about that on For the Culture Podcast. As you all know, there was a new episode of For the Culture Podcast that dropped this past Tuesday. Now, me and Adrian are working on something sickening. If you were paying attention to Wasted Wednesday last night, me and Adrian did say that we're interested in doing For the Culture Podcast after hours. Now, that does not mean that For the Culture Podcast will be after hours. That just means after hours means we're going to be talking about the grapefruit technique, kinks and play, all that type of stuff. So we're going to title those episodes After Hours or something. We're working on something. I want to know if you all are interested. We'd like to talk about sex, but we want to make sure that we're talking to a specific group of people so no one is offended. Y'all know everybody's not comfortable, and that's perfectly understandable. And some folks say, girl, I can't play that at my job, but I can put my headphones in. So we're working on that because we want to be able to make sure that we're covering all grounds. So just not that, we're going to do For the Culture Finance, all that, so we can be able to give content specifically to a group of people that need to hear it. I'm hoping you all continue on with the journey of us and something we have planned going on in 2018. As you all know, if you don't know, Adrian is supposed to be moving to Atlanta in the next month or so. I'm so excited to have my friend here so we can put together some sickening content for the culture on fortheculturepodcast.com and every other thing else that we'll be working on. So with that being said, on Tyrese, because it looked like he needs some culture, and the culture needs to get together and they need to help Tyrese figure it out. Now, Tyrese, like, girl, you got a lot going on. Like, you're crying on here, and not too long ago, you were dragging black women and saying that you were the gift of black women, and black women need to take their weaves out and their wigs to get a black man. Like, the only thing that a black woman does when she comes immediately out the womb, or whatever, because it's a womb in whatever way you want to call it, doesn't matter if it's you cutting it out, you know, this, or we cutting it out of that. Well, it's not cut out, it's push out. Y'all know I'm not a vagina expert. work, so you work with me. Tyrese, you were saying all this, you were talking all this nonsense, and now it just seems like that maybe in the beginning that you were needing some type of attention and you need some type of therapy. Now Tyrese is probably broken and broke. He probably ain't got no coins coming in. A lot of folks were dragging Tyrese. They said, you know, Tyrese should have been saving his money up while he was doing all that type of stuff. He should have been saving his coins up. But, you know, I can understand how Tyrese, you know, if he was making this much money, he's making $800,000 a year, and then he went to making $400,000 a year. That's a big cut. That's 50%. So it doesn't matter how much you're saving, how much you have saved, and what you did spend on. Like, all of us are in the same boat, some way, shape, or form. Okay, it's the same thing for somebody to lose 50% of their income and they making $1 million a year, for the same as somebody who's making $4,000 a month and you know been cut down to 22. It doesn't matter how you do it. Like, you're gonna live between your means, and no matter how much you cut back, you still gonna feel it a little bit because you're used to making a certain amount of money. You're reaching about it the wrong way. Now, I do believe The Rock should or could have, in the graces of his heart or whatever, reached out to you and, you know, offer you some support, because it's not like The Rock is missing any money. But Tyrese, it seems like that you don't even need The Rock support, because nobody wants to be tied up in your confusion and stuff that you got going on Instagram. I mean, you were out here lying, and then you're spelling actress wrong, and you're saying that Will Smith and Jay Smith gave you $5 million, so now they got to do a press release and saying that they have not offered you $5 million. Now, let me tell you something. If Jada and Will Smith gave me $50,000, or let alone $5,000, I would shut my fat ass up. Jada, y'all give me $5,000? My inside conscience would be telling me, shut the hell up! Shut up! Shut up! Girl, I wouldn't be telling y'all nothing, girl. I wouldn't be telling y'all anything unless them folks say you can tell the people. Like, girl, it's just and it just goes to show you how social media has conditioned certain people to believe that they have to share everything that is going on in their lives. Everything needs to be told on social media, because if it's not posted on Instagram, social media, or Twitter, or any of those, it must didn't happen. It's the same thing with relationships. Like, girl, they look like they're good, they got pictures, but girl, pictures sometimes don't tell 1,000 things, okay? Well, it could. You know, the same thing with Tamar, you know, same situation. Some of us are using social media as what we want people to look at our lives. Like, this is what I want you to see. And people even feel like, even when they're going through some stuff, I can speak to that specifically, even when they're going through certain situations and stuff, they feel like, or I felt like, I still need to show this image of, you know, everything is good. That's sometimes when, you know, I'm not feeling up to par and I don't feel like I'm energetic or something. I'm feeling depressed like I was the other day. I think that was yesterday I was feeling depressed, but when I got on live on Wasted Wednesday, I felt good, but that whole day I laid in the bed because I felt depressed and I didn't know what it was, what was wrong with me. I still have to keep up this image that everything was cute on social media and stuff. That can be partly because this is what I do, and like, I don't want folks to think that I'm seeking attention or something. So, Tyrese, I hope that you get what you need. I hope you find out what it is that you need. I feel like it says a lot about what you got going on. I just hope that you can figure it out, brother. Now, Will Smith and Jada, they said you ain't gave you no damn $5 million, so I don't know why you put them in that shit. And then you out here promising to pay folks student loan debt with that $5 million and pay their tuition. You just need to cut the bull crap completely out. I know we're returning like a week or so from Halloween, girl. Now, Kim Kardashian, you know, she got some backlash or something about her wearing her Leah costume and stuff, and people, you know, they had a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it. A lot of other folks had a problem with it. And, well, yes, I did have somewhat of a problem with it, because I know Kim Kardashian has a history of, you know, doing something, mixing and matching black culture like it's some type of makeup kit. So I just wanted her to stay away from it. And lo and behold, Kim Kardashian, you know, said she apologized for wearing the Leah stuff, and she said at her household, she doesn't see color. So that's a lot to be said about that. When a person does not see color, it's important that you do see color, because, girl, you see color. I don't care what you say. You can see the disparities with black and brown people and white people. Like, you see this, so girl, cut the mess out. So that's why I don't need Kim Kardashian to do any of that. And for her to be raising a couple of black kids, there's even more to be said about that. But that's Kim Kardashian. I'm tired of talking about her. Every time I talk about her, matter of fact, Credit Karma just let me know that my credit score went down for talking about Kim Kardashian. So I'm gonna move right along. Jill Scott, our girl Jill Scott, is divorcing her husband, honey. Jill Scott said, I ain't doing it, girl. Everybody getting a divorce. Jill Scott said she is divorcing her husband. She felt like she was trapped. it was, I was so shocked to hear that because she's only been married to this man 15 months. So I'm just like, I'm not, because Jill Scott kind of did it the private route. She had a private ceremony and stuff. She didn't have like a big mass thing. She didn't reach out to BET or VH1 to do no marriage type of thing or Bravo. But you know, she did it the private route, and look, she said she wasn't happy. So I'm honestly starting to think that maybe marriage is not even necessary. I don't know, because we still needed to protect us when it comes to certain things like being allowed in the hospital, finance-wise, legal issues and stuff. I guess you really have to dive deep and figure out, is this what you really want? Like, is marriage something you really want? You have to decide if marriage is something you actually want, or is this something you're doing because you want to feel like you're a part of the culture, like you feel like that you accomplished, like you're checking this box. And it's just like, girl, that box might not be for you. You might got the wrong form, okay? You might, girl, we need to give you the form. We got you the wrong form. Let's give you the form for you, cater to you, okay? But it just says a lot, you know. Cardi B was engaged to Offset, you know, he proposed and stuff. And, you know, I first had a conversation about that. So it just goes to show, is marriage really that thing? Like, is it just that cute for a person to get on one knee and say, hey, would you marry me? And then their heart not necessarily in the right place, and you really don't know that person. Just make sure for yourself that you're making sure that you're married in a person because of all the right things, not because you want people to feel a certain type of way. And as we talk about marriage, we can also talk about our girl Tamar Braxton divorcing Vince. It seems to be a real issue. Mama Evelyn came out and she said, keep your hands off my daughter. So Tamar Braxton is divorcing Vince Herbert, and whatever his name is, she's divorcing him. And there's been a conversation about you know, domestic violence or something going on. And I think in one of Tamar's previous relationships or marriages, she suffered from that. So for her to go through this, and Vince is doing that, and Vince is, you know, mentally abusing her and physically, like, that's a lot to be said about that. There was a conversation even as they said that Vince might have had some side girls. He might have had some side chicks. Now, they ain't getting no, you know, cussed out like Lisa Nicole did. You know, Vince might have had some girls. I believe that Vince, you know, always liked a white woman. I believe that Vince loves white women, and he finds white women more attractive than he does black women. And I think that's why probably Tamar has, you know, constructed herself to look almost like a white woman. I know I joked about that in the past. I hate for Tamar to go through the same stuff that little Kim almost went through, like augmenting your face and stuff and constructing it to look more Eurocentric. Like, I don't want that for Tamar. Y'all know I have had to grow to just accept Tamar for who she is. Does not mean I cannot call her out on her bullcrap. But this is a woman who's, you know, says she's suffering from domestic violence. So I'm listening to her. The moment a woman says, or a man says, you know, someone says, period, that they're suffering through this, I want to pay attention to it. And I feel like it's important that we do not dismiss someone who's talking about it or having a conversation about it, because you never know. I don't never want to be in that situation where I'm the person who denied the person who cried sheep, because eventually they might tell the truth. So we can check and we can unpack and we can figure it out. We can smell bullcrap, but I'm not going to call bullcrap without hearing the facts and stuff first. But Tamar, at the same time, you do have your show about to return. It's just been a rough year for her, so I have my thoughts and prayers are with Tamar, and I hope she can find out, you know, what's going on. But I feel like her, Jill Scott, Mary J. Blige, maybe y'all need to go and have a camping trip and just let out and just say have a F me and camping trip. I might need to plan something like that, because sometimes I be thinking I can accomplish so much if I did not have any attractions or anything to a male. That's what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to men. I'm same gender loving. So I feel like sometimes if I did not have feelings or anything towards another male, I'll be able to get more accomplished, because my feelings get wrapped and it makes me unproductive. I'm actually working on a blog post about that right now, because I feel like these are the main reasons why I can't be productive as possible. Like, it's hard for me to separate both, because sometimes I want to, you know, be cuddled up, be next to somebody. It's lonely. And I want to be around somebody that cares about me, but sometimes this person really does not care about me as much as I care about myself, and it gets me from not doing my job effectively. There's a conversation to be said about that. But Jill Scott, Mary J. Blige, and Tamar Braxton, girl, I need a girls trip for real, for real. And speaking of girls trips, shout out to Tiffany Haddish, who will be hosting Saturday Night Live this Saturday. I will make sure that I will be setting my DVR to record her. Shout out to her. I'm happy for her. I hope she show out and she be blackity black. That goes to show you a lot how far and how long it took for them to have a black host besides Maya Rudolph, but she's a product of Saturday Night Live. So Saturday Night Live, y'all need to get it together because y'all really ain't that damn funny with that whitewashed ass jokes y'all be having. So while we talking about everything else, let's talk about Wendy Williams collapsing. Now Wendy Williams collapsing was not funny to me. I know I'm late as hell, but better late than never. I can always talk about it when I want to talk about it because I think when I put it out, it does not have to be just right then and there. Like I can sit down and think about it so I can give y'all some juicy conversation about it. But when Wendy fell out, I did not laugh. I didn't find it funny for the first 20 minutes. I didn't find it hilarious at all. But once she got up there and said she was okay, I was like, Wendy, you're not okay, girl. You're not okay. Wendy, you're falling out because that was not a fallout. That was not a heat stroke. Girl, you were going through something. I don't know if you had a brain aneurysm or something. Well, I don't think you can have that and be still that good. But I feel like it was a mild stroke. I feel like Wendy had a mild stroke, and I think it might have even came from the stress. I feel like Wendy Williams is dealing with a lot of stress. There was a report today that they said that her husband was out pooching around with his mistress, the side chick, and they said, sources are saying that, you know, Wendy Williams has not been taking it like she don't know what to do with it. And you know what asked Wendy about? She said she put up the ring. Girl, that shit don't mean shit. That's materialistic bullshit. And I get tired of folks, well, I got a ring. That's the same folks that say, well, girl, I'm unhappy, but I got coin. Girl, no, you not. There's still millionaires out here killing themselves. Look at Robin Williams. Like, that's not the true happiness. Happiness sometimes in the inside. Now, I will not lie and say that, like, girl, sometimes capitalism does make us feel a certain type of way. I'm a content creator that's trying to live every day being struggled about capitalism, like being strangled to death by it. Like, it's strangling me now, like making me not want to leave where I'm at. Because I'm just like, even where I go, it's just like the same situation. I'm pretty sure we can all relate. And that's why I don't mind joking about situations I have been in where I have dodged the leasing manager. Like, girl, there she go. Let me not leave the house until after 6 o'clock because I know the leasing office is closed and I ain't paid them. It's just reality. It's a reality for a lot of us. And that does not mean we out here spending money on unnecessary things. It's just saying, girl, I don't have it right now. This ain't my time right now. I'm just trying to make it. And I watched a clip on Facebook of Florida cussing out, well, she wasn't cussing out her doctor, and it was a black doctor, and she was saying, you people. And she was essentially saying, you people need to make sure that y'all taking care of yourself. Y'all ain't here eating right, y'all ain't doing that. And Florida was like, girl, this is all we got. We just trying to survive. And I can totally understand that. I can understand that to the fullest degree. Like, I'm just trying to survive. It's not as easy as you may think it is. So that clip kind of woke me up and it shook me up because I'm only interested in pulling the people who are surrounded by me. I appreciate Issa Rae for even having a conversation about that when she did her interview with Roland Martin. She said, look, I need to make sure that I'm putting folks on the side of me because I don't need to be working with folks who are already making a couple of coins. I need to work for these folks who are hungry for the stuff. I need to work for them folks who are out here trying to make things happen. And that's a lot of us out here that's out here doing great stuff with the bare minimum. So there's a lot to be said about that. Back on happiness. Happiness sometimes is where the heart is. And if your heart ain't right, it doesn't matter how much materialistic shit you have, you still might not be happy. I would be happy with a cute check right now. I'd be happy with that. But Wendy Williams, I hope that you get it together.
I hope you get it together.
I hope you do so.
Ooh, girl. Is there anything else you want?
But Wendy Williams, I hope she can figure out what is going on with her. Why is she like doing this? Like, sometimes you might just need to let that man go, but she's probably trying to make sure that her son is doing good and all that. But that's so stressful. I hope Wendy get it together. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta season 10 premiere. I've already dropped a review from there. I think a lot of y'all liked it. You know, y'all comment. We had a conversation about it even on Wasted Wednesday and on For the Culture podcast. But there's been a report, according to B. Scott, from the sources that he has, saying that, you know, Real Housewives of Atlanta ratings for the season premiere for season 10 were only 2.4, slightly smaller than season 9. And this is without Phaedra, and this is with having Nene and Kim Zolciak on. And Kim is on part-time, Nene is on full-time, and they gave them big checks. So they sent the executives over at Bravo trying to figure out what it is because we spent money and we ain't getting nothing. I'm working on a blog post for that as well, like a lot of creative stuff, and the wheels have been turning in my head about having a conversation about that because Bravo, I don't think it's necessarily the, I don't think it's Nene and all that. It's just like people are, it's a couple of reasons why folks ain't got cable no more. They watching y'all ass on YouTube. They watching y'all asses on illegally downloaded content. And that's just what it is. And honestly, I wish I wasn't watching y'all like that either, because y'all, this season premiere was not worth it. It's just not worth it for me to pay $200 a month to do that. But it's in my budget as far as, creating content and stuff to make sure I have a cable bill paid and stuff. But for the everyday person like her, I watched it later on. I'm not interested. Girl, I watched it on somebody else's stuff. I don't have time. And y'all invested all this money. I told y'all, girl, I made a comment about that. I said, Nene is not going to bring the ratings like this. She's just not going to do that. Y'all think that she's a big powerhouse, but after that situation with her cursing out that woman, Nene's brand has taken a little bit of a nosedive. Nene can only do so much. There's a lot of the stuff that's on Real Housewives of Atlanta, we just over it. Like, we don't believe that these women getting into it every year like this and coming back and taking a trip. Like, it's just like, girl, at this point, like, what's the tea? Like, it's not realistic. Like, end it with 10 years and call it a day, move on to something else. Or what y'all could do is, y'all can be a little bit more involved like everybody else, like Empire and VH1. Involve these content creators who are out here reaching this audience that y'all want to keep and maintain. I don't understand how these other YouTubers, Instagram folks, don't get access to the episodes the day before. I don't understand how y'all not reaching out to them and letting them say, hey, let's work with you. I don't personally understand how y'all not doing that. And it's even if y'all don't choose me, because I practically don't care. It would be nice. But y'all need to include some of these other folks. You got folks who out here reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta and getting 30, 40,000 views per review. 20,000 automatically. Just think about it, if you were able to give them the episode before, have them sign a non-disclosure, and have them drop that shit right when it goes off, like, then they can probably do a live show on it or something and talk about it. Like, y'all need to think outside the box. Y'all been doing the same stuff for 10 years and ain't nothing changing. Ain't nothing evolving. My views and my content have steadily went up. Like, I haven't lost anything. People continue to watch me. I ain't on no big network, but I have my own network, and that's the network of the people that I work with to put out sickening content. So maybe, Bravo, y'all need to think about that. Y'all need to, think outside the box. Y'all can email me, honey, or you can email somebody else. It don't matter, but, maybe we can figure something out. That's Justin@kingareese.com. I do want to talk about our guy, Meek Mills. I did want to save this to the end because I think there's a lot to be said about that. Meek Mills has been, they trying to send him to jail for 2 years or 2 and 4 years. And a lot of folks are like, they don't know what side to choose. They're like, you violated your probation, and I'm not sure what we should be doing with it. Like, you violate probation, and you like, they told you not to do that. But does the crime fit the punishment? Even if his third, fourth time, we're talking about a dirt bike, for crying out loud. Like, come on. And I think anytime we talk about a black man being arrested or getting sentenced, there is something to be unpacked immediately, considering how black men have been incarcerated over the how many years. So at any time a black man is arrested in that, we need to think about it. We need to say, hey, let's look into it. Now, it might be bull crap, but it takes us nothing. It takes us nothing for us to talk about, because we know in a lot of instances, black men are treated unjust and unfairly. We know that. That's to be given. So it's nothing wrong with us saying, let me look into Meek Mill's situation and see, do he deserve this punishment that he's getting? And then even when somebody, she's a black judge. Child, do you know how many black people around here tap dancing with canes and stuff? That don't mean anything. That doesn't mean a lot. It does not mean too much of anything. If you look at it and unpack it, like, girl, we got people like Ben Carson working for a Trump administration and don't believe in the advancement of people of color. Like, that don't mean, got folks like Omarosa too. So, I mean, that doesn't tell me anything just because they black. It doesn't tell me anything. So just because we got a black judge, do y'all know how many uppity black folks look down at black folks who make less than $50,000 a year? My friend put up a Facebook status today and said that, a person was dragging folks for making under $50,000 a year. And I was like, girl, somebody can say something about him making under 75. Like, it goes on and so forth. Like, you got some black folks who have made it to, like, successfully as far as finance wise, and they think they ain't black. And that's the same thing Florida told their black doctor, like, you people, we're going back to the ghetto. So I think it's a conversation to be had. Me and Adrian did break it down on For the Culture podcast. If you're interested in listening to it, I suggest you check it out. Also, I want to do a quick shout out to the Grapevine TV over there, my girl Miss Ashley with her beautiful self. If you are not over there watching the Grapevine TV on YouTube, I don't know what it is. The way they put together content and they have a conversation about stuff that's blackity black, I have not seen anybody do it visually, okay? And that doesn't mean that it's not out there, but the way the Grapevine does it has caught my attention. I love it. I love the people they have, even the people I disagree with, especially you, Carl. But the people that you all have on there is sickening. Me and Adrian have been asked to be on a future episode that's coming up in 2018. I am so excited about that. I think me and Adrian can offer a little sass and pizzazz, okay? And just have conversation with beautiful black folks and just get to know folks like, oh my gosh, I love everybody over there at the Grapevine. Everybody, bitch. Shout out to the 2 white women that got popped and dropped this past weekend, honey. There was a black officer who was dragging a white girl out of a stadium because she was drunk and disorderly, and she had smacked him, and child, he had gave her a woo right to the face, girl, pow, right in the kiss of teeth. Now, I don't condone violence over here, but it was funny. And then to the white woman who was dragged up. That's what you get, honey. White privilege card revoked. Loved it. Tell me what y'all think about all the topics and society stuff I talked about in this episode of King of Reads TV. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to y'all later on tonight. I'm interested in doing a live stream on YouTube later on this evening, talking about some stuff that I talked about on Facebook. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms. I love y'all. Have a good evening. And make sure you're checking out kingofreads.com. Content for the culture. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later.
What more do you want from me?